everybody. It appears that I am back on the air once again. Back in the saddle, as they would say. Excuse me. I hope everyone's doing great tonight. And I am very happy and excited and very glad to be back here on the air once again, doing the old Facebookage here with the Nocturnal Ramble, which I think is episode 23. Yes. Unbelievable. 23 episodes. I've been speaking with some friends of mine who are also doing this live casting thing on Facebook, and they're they're shocked that I was able to do this as many times in a row as I have, doing the whole live broadcasting thing. You know, they usually do once a week or every 2 weeks, but you know, the fact that except for like last night, which again I thank you also very very much for the kind responses and understanding of what I was going through. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all so very very much. It means an awful lot to me. I just needed the time to deal with what I had to deal with. And thank you again so very very much. I personally thank each and every one of you who left me a really great comment, both private messages as well as the comments in on Facebook itself. So thank you again so very very much. I'm really humbled, and thank you again. Let's see. Yeah, so like I said, most of my friends who are doing this are absolutely stunned that I'm able to get on the air here and to be live with people for as often as I've been able to do it. And it kind of brings me to another question that I have for a lot of my peers who are out there. A few guys that I know, musicians who are actually doing it. Billy Hudson, he's doing his own live cast thing, which is really, really great. And I'm surprised that not many others that I know who really should be doing this. You know, it's a great way to communicate with people. And if you have anything to teach anybody, like tonight, I'll go over what it was like to write a book and how to get started on doing that. If anyone's at all interested in that whatsoever, I have to check to see if there's any kind of comments or anything for right now. Let me just take a peek in these here and see what we got. We'll take a look and see what is happening on the other side of Facebook. It's not really the other side of Facebook. It's just a different angle, as they would say. Let's see. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Give, Queenie. Give. No, I don't want to write anything. I want to read something. No, not that. I don't want that. What's going on here? Technology is foiling my best intentions here. Let's try this. See if I can get to this page up here. Let's take a look and see. I could be talking to absolutely nobody right now. I have no idea. Right? I don't know. Let's see. And survey set. I see I'm live. I see there's a couple of comments here. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, hang on. I have to turn the volume down, otherwise it's me listening to myself talk, which is really annoying. Diane, hi, nice to see you. Nice to see your face. Right, nice to be seen. Thank you so much, Diane. What do we got here? Christy, hi, John. Nice to see you're back. So excited to learn all about writing a book. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll lay some of it out for you and stuff. I'm going to do it for the next few days. Let's see. Travis, I'm just glad that you're back, John. I thank you. I'm glad that I'm back also. Let me tell you, yes, it was a definite strange kind of thing that happened in the last week or so. That was just all leading up to that one day, you know. Yesterday being Kathy's birthday, so that was really it was not an easy day. Not as anyways. It was a lot more difficult than I had ever anticipated that it would be. Even though this would have been her second birthday, not here being with me, for some reason, yesterday's birthday really kind of hit home to me. Vincent, Chris just started an hour ago. Oh, well, there you go. It's about time you jumped on the old bandwagon there. Chris, Thackerton, there. Good evening. Good evening to you, too. Thank you, Chris. Captain, hey, Ricky, how are you? Miss you, my brother. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Miss you, too. You know, maybe we'll see each other again out on the old road. You never know. You never know for sure. Sandra Murphy Perino. I can't. Wow. All right, Sandra. You may be the one that makes me break out my glasses. Pop. He had a surgery. Oh, okay. So Senior had a surgery. All right. Cool. Let's touch base a bit later on. I'll find out from you, if you don't mind, exactly how he's doing, okay? All right. This is from a former, a former bandmate of mine, his daughter-in-law, letting me know that he is, had some surgery and stuff, and he's been going through a bit of a tough time, well, let's just say he's having a tough time physically. So we'll go check in on him a bit later on and stuff. Thank you for letting me know, Sandra. Thank you so much. I really haven't been. Today I didn't do anything. Today I'm not gonna say I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything online today except for edit a lot of video. I didn't have my phone turned on. I had nothing turned on whatsoever since yesterday. So I went heavy into editing video and audio for my drum school, and doing that because some of those sales came in, and all of a sudden I realized that I had to really upgrade a whole bunch of stuff. So I did like a bunch beforehand, and then now I'm basically under the gun to really get this done. Much more than it already is. Let's see, Travis. I bet that was hard on you, man. Yes, it was. Yes, definitely, Travis. It was hard on me yesterday. No doubt about that. For anybody who's ever lost a spouse or anyone that they've really ever loved, it's always difficult. It really is. It's like waves, it just, that's how it hits. I read this post someone had put up on Facebook once about how, it's first that like these huge tsunami waves that come in, then they just get like a little bit less and a little bit less, but every once in a while you get that rogue wave that kind of happens. And that's what it was like yesterday, coupled with a bunch of other different things, some on a personal level, some on, mainly on a personal level, but that's something that's, that's the other stuff, not involved with my, my emotional roller coaster over Kathy. The other stuff doesn't mean anything, That's all. Anything like that, any other personal things other than, like I said, what I went through. The grieving process is really, you can't explain it. You don't know exactly what's going to come around the next corner at you, or when it's going to happen. I'm sure that over the years it'll lessen, as far as the severity of it. But the actual, the grief itself will always wind up being there. Even though the grieving is more for me by not having her. It's not that I feel bad for her because, you know what? She's she's seeing things from a whole nother different perspective than myself. So she knows exactly what's going on. I'm only guessing. But, yeah, I'll be okay. I will. I'll be okay. Thank you, though. Thanks for your concern. It really means a lot. It does. Darcy joined. Hey, Darcy, how are you? That's the thing about this Facebook thing. Jim also joined. That's the thing about it. You can't really hide. Once you join on one of these things, that's it. You can get called out. So I don't think that you can be incognito. Dan Roth, John, I'm interested in the physical print edition of your book. Um, I need to, like, okay, that's it. Now I'm putting these on just for a second so I can read. Okay, Dan, John, I'm interested in the physical print edition of your book, but it's going for a $60 on Amazon? What? Get out of here. $60 on Amazon. $50 on Amazon. Dude. No, really? I wonder why they would do that. I have no control over that one, trust me. That's Amazon setting that price. It was at $14 or something like that. You know, if you want, you can go to the link um, above, right above in this post. You'll see there's a thing for my Facebook page, which is Facebook blah 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 / John O'Reilly Live, and right underneath that link is a link to subscribe to the Maverick Musician Digest, which is my newsletter, and there's also an offer there to buy the book for $10, and it's physical copy of it, and I'll sign it, and it's like $2.80 something or other cents for shipping. So for $12.85, I'll autograph it for you and send it on out in the mail, if that's okay with you. But yeah, $50 on Amazon. I have to look into that. That's crazy. I have no idea, and I don't have any control over what they're going to set it at this point. In the beginning, I did, but I think what happens is that once they start to see it get more sales, and that starts to happen, maybe they're bumping it up. But that's really rude. No, I'm going to look into that. Thanks for the heads up on it. I had no idea that. No idea at all if that was happening. We'll get to the bottom of that. Let's see. And if in other words, if you can't find the link to that, I'll put the link in the chat after we're done with this. Because right now, if I try to mess around with getting onto the chat to do that, I'll screw something up. I'll wind up shutting everything down. Let me see. Hi, Mr. John O'Reilly. Hi, Karen. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Hope everything's going fantastic for you. I'm Mr. John O'Reilly these days. How about that? My dad was Mr. My dad was Mr. Riley. That's who he was. You can call me John. That's quite all right. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping in to say hi and stuff. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Any other questions we have here? I know the last time that I did one of these, I did a broadcast. It actually was like I went way over what I was really hoping to do and stuff. So I never got around to really teaching anything like what I'm going to discuss tonight about the just writing a book, which is really very cool. It's a great thing to do if you have anything or any business or any idea for a business. It's a great way to get that idea and get that all down on paper. Or in my case, like I said, I can't type. This book, this thing here was done all by typing with using my voice through a piece of software called Dragon Point and Speak. I can't type. I do, but it's like real the hunt and peck. It's really, very, very. I'm not very fast at it whatsoever. So it's much better for me to be able to actually speak the book, and then to literally have it be printed into a Word document by this software. And then from there, I took it, and I wasn't originally going to get it edited. I thought, yeah, you know what? I want to just do this. It's the way I speak. I don't like it's not going to come out the right way. It's going to seem it's going to seem phony. It's not going to be me. All the usual stuff that an excuse that you make. And then I ran into somebody who really knew about editing, and so he knew somebody else. And one connection led to another, and she's a great editor. She was a fantastic editor, and she kept it true to making it sound, like it's me. It's my voice, and all the foul-mouthed Irishness and everything is in this book. So there's some, like I said, foul-mouthed Irishness, It's kind of like I speak. I try to keep it as clean as possible here when I'm doing this, but every once in a while I'll let a little blaspheme will fly out. It happens. That's what it's like. And then when I get into doing any public speaking, I try to also keep it a little on the clean side, especially if there are youngins in the crowd. I don't want to, shock anybody by all of a sudden speaking French. But then again, I'm sure that there are a lot of you out here who do speak French. I don't know where that saying ever came from. Jacqueline, good evening, John. How are you today? Much better. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the lovely message. I got that. Thank you again. If I don't return a lot of messages to people, that's, I get a lot of messages. I try my best. But it's a little bit hard sometimes. But thank you. I can get on the air doing something like this and thank everybody and, let them know that I really do appreciate it. And all the really kind comments and stuff. Absolutely. Christy, hi John, nice to see you back. So excited. Oh, okay, I read that one already. Okay. All right. Good evening, John. Ricky Roman. Hey, Bob, me see. Okay, Travis. Whoa, what happened to the comments? Hit the wrong button. The wrong button goes. Neberto, hi, good evening. Shannon Thomas, good to see you. Back here for the Midnight Ramble. Rock on, brother. Well, thank you. I try my best, Shannon. I definitely do. Image stops and go. Okay, so basically it's the kind of fluttering around again. Yeah. I wonder what's the deal with that. And I saw someone do a live cast as well the other day, and like I've mentioned before, this is a free piece of software that I'm using. So it's not a big, it's not like I didn't pay anything for it. And there's a piece of software out now that you can buy that's like $600, and even some that's a little bit more expensive. But I also think it's got a lot to do with Facebook. I definitely do. I think that Facebook is probably geared a little bit more like mobile devices. This is what the Facebook is really for, is using your mobile phone or an iPad or tablet and doing it with that, as opposed to a piece of third-party software. That's like what I'm using. Even though, like I said, I've seen some very expensive pieces of software do the same thing. They get kind of jumpy and sometimes then it freezes up. But I'm looking at my screen now and I'm monitoring it as I'm monitoring this screen, looking at that screen, and I can see that so far it looks pretty good. I don't know. I'll have to check it and see. Joe Crowley joined. Hi, Joe. How are you? Okay, Christy, lots of buffering and cutting out. Anyone else having a problem, or does my laptop suck? Nah, it could be that too. It could be that that's a bit of a problem. I'm looking at, let me see my CPU usage. Hang on, let me just check something here and see. Hang on. My CPU usage is pretty low. It's less than 50%. So I don't think it's coming from here. Jacqueline, okay, glad to hear you are feeling a bit better tonight. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You are, well, thank you so much for asking. Sarah, is there any inspiration that you drew from to write your book? Yeah, my main inspiration was, I'd always had this entrepreneurial spirit of, of doing something outside of the music industry or, or parallel to it. That was always, something that I've got involved in doing back in 1998, when Kathy and I got our first computer. So I immediately put up a little retail store and began to sell whatever was around there. More or less it was like a drop shipment kind of thing where people ordered something and then they paid for it. And then another company would actually take care of the order and process it and then ship it. So it was really more or less just selling products that way. And it worked good. It worked for a while. It was pretty good and stuff. And then we just got involved dealing with these different things, stock market, I got involved working in the stock market, doing some day trading and stuff. Did pretty well with that. That was okay. I've always had that. I've always had that thing, of wanting to do something a little bit different. Always trying to be a little bit more entrepreneurial. But I was always trying to maintain like more of a behind the scenes kind of thing, not really being the face of anything, just kind of like running the business from behind and not trying to give any kind of not trying to expose myself basically as far as like in doing this. So, and that all really changed back when my brother passed away, about 7 months before Kathy passed away. And I'd always been talking about it. I'd always talked about it with Kathy, and she said, "You have to write this book. You've got to just buckle down and write it. That's what you really should do." And I just hemmed and hawed, and I didn't really want to do it because that meant coming out from behind the scenes and putting yourself out there. I mean, and trust me, it's a big difference between running different couple of business things when it's not your face that's out there, or you're using a pen name and no one knows who you are. It's a lot easier just to hide behind something like that and make some money and do it that way, which is good. Now, if you want to be secretive or not really let anybody know what you're doing, that's fine. But when you put your name on a book, you do that. You put your name on a book and you put your ass out there for anybody to either take a pot shot at you or to like just criticize you. Yeah, that was unnerving. But Kathy really, said you have to do this. You got to do it. My brother passed away suddenly, and I felt, he wasn't that much. He was older than me. He was like 71. Right before his 72nd birthday, he passed away. Massive coronary. Sudden, like, boom, gone. One day you're here, next day he's gone. And that really set me back on my ass. Then another good friend of mine, someone I had known for years, he passed away suddenly. And then a former bandmate passed away suddenly. And all of a sudden I was like, what's going on around here? So that really kind of lit the fire underneath my ass to write the book. And then it just snowballed. One thing led to another, and I just sat back here in this office right here, my home office. And every day I'd get done with it, writing a chapter or something or whatever I could, and I'd get out there and Kathy'd be like, "What'd you write? Let me hear it." And I'd have to like, I'd have to deal. She wouldn't let me slide. So she was the real fire and the part of the real inspiration of going ahead and going forward with the book. And that's really the inspiration of it, to finally get this out there. Because it's changing. I mean, years ago, many years ago, doing anything outside of the music industry was like really looked down upon. Doing anything different, having any kind of entrepreneurial spirit was just like, don't do that, you're a musician, you're an artiste. That was always the vibe then. And also it was a lot harder to start a business. I mean, it was all brick and mortar, until the internet came along. It was, all brick and mortar. I mean, you had to have a storefront, you had to pay rent, you had to deal with all of that. And now, the playing field is so level. If you learn a skill, or you have some sort of expertise, something that you really feel that you can, it's going to give value to somebody else or value to the world, even for nonprofits. That's the thing, and writing a book is probably the easiest thing you'll do outside of maybe creating a podcast, or even better yet, something like this. This, to me, is way more powerful than even a podcast because you're on Facebook. This is where everybody is. A lot of people are on Facebook, and if you have something of great value to give to them and to share, that's it. This is what it's all about. So I'm also writing my second book now, which is basically the second book is my journey in doing this. Whether it's Facebook Live or whether it was writing the book or publishing my digital magazine or the drum school or any of the other businesses that I have, it's all a journey that I'm taking everybody with me on. If they want to come or not, I don't know if they will. If you guys want to, you're more than welcome to. But this is what I'm doing. And, I was working with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and, being a musician and getting to play at the level that I get to play at with the level of players I get to play with is a blessing and an honor to do that. But I also wanted to do something outside of the music industry as as I, to expand. I really do. I thrive in doing something where I really don't know where exactly it's going to take me. And I love the journey on it. The destination is okay, that's what it is. But, I still love the journey of it. And if I can inspire anybody to come along on that journey or to start their own journey, that's the best to me. Anyway, now I'm rambling. You see what you did? Now I'm rambling. Let's see. Sandra, this is... Oh, I can't read again. Hang on here. Let me see. Okay, and so John, this is bad. Okay, where has showing on the July 17th? It's the good old days. I hope you'll come. Okay, I'm not too sure exactly what that is. I'll check in with you a bit later on, Sandra. Dan, never mind, John. I just found it $11.95 on Amazon. A couple different links on Amazon. I wonder what that was about. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Excellent. This author Suda. Hey, I'm from Ohio. Hey, Arthur, how are you? Come on in here. Thea Karen Snook. Good evening from Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Yes, there you go. Glenwood Springs. Wow. Let's see. Let me see. Also, Sarah, I hope that answered your question about the inspiration for where the book came from. Let's see. What we got there? What time is it? 12:28 or so? Okay, we got some little time yet. Answer some more questions here. Well, thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming out here and hanging out. It means an awful lot. It truly does. Absolutely, really does. And do we have any other questions? Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to go over and check out Chris Caffrey's live cast and see what he's up to. And see what that's about. If he stays on long enough, I'm not too sure. I know there's a time limit. You can only be on Facebook for 90 minutes tops. And that's it so far. Well, we'll see how long that'll actually last before they change it. Now, they're getting into a lot of movie stars and celebrities are getting into doing the whole live casting thing right now through Facebook. And they're actually paying a lot of money. They're paying people lots of money to go ahead and, broadcast live. I know it's going to happen. This is going to turn into like well, I don't want to say the bad word, but it's going to be a cluster frank. If they're not careful, because everybody's going to wind up doing this thing. And the more bandwidth you have and the more popularity you have, I guess, that's going to squeeze out a lot of smaller broadcasters. It's so funny to refer to yourself as a broadcaster. That's really kind of weird. Who knew? Let's see. Any other questions here? We have any questions whatsoever? Okay, Arthur, do you guys find out the lineup? When do you guys find out the lineup for the TSO tour? You know what, Arthur? I really don't know who everybody is that's coming back. I just don't know for sure. I saw I got a message today from Asha. Asha's coming back. She sent me a really nice message. I guess she must have read the about yesterday. So she sent me a really sweet message, and she's coming back. She said that. And April, she said, is going to come back too. Who else? I would imagine everybody else. I haven't heard anything different of anyone not coming back. So yeah, as far as I know, everything is everything. And I can speak for the West Coast band, but as far as the East Coast, I don't know. No idea. It's, I'm not, it's not expecting any kind of changes or anything to happen. And it's once you get a lineup that works and everyone's committed to doing it, and Everyone should be there. I don't see any reason why not. But thanks for the question there, Arthur. Thank you. Let me see. Who else we got there? All right, so Arthur, you're from Ohio, so I think maybe you're thinking about the East Coast band. Nope, I would not know at all about the East Coast band, not one bit. That might be a question for Chris Caffrey. If you go over to his page, he's actually live casting right now. If you go over there and give him a shout and see what he has to say about it, put him on the spot. I'm not too sure how he'll react to it and how I react when I'm put on the spot about a question, but that's just me. Let me see if we got any other questions. Kayla Lopez joined. Kayla, you're getting ready to have a child soon. Kayla, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, darling? You having a good time? I know you're preggers. John, I see you here. KR here. Love you, brother. Love you too, sweetheart. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy and so glad to see that you are, you be a mama. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've known you since you were like, 17? 16-ish? Somewhere around in there when you first joined? Wow. Thank you for coming on board here and saying, hey, sweetheart. Absolutely. I know I never met your man, but tell him I said, hey. Tell Lance all the best, man, and congratulations. Congratulations to both of you. Let's see. Is there any other kind of questions that we might have? Anything? I'm going to go into that little presentation in a little bit. If you're wondering why I keep on going back here to my head and stuff, I grabbed a big old tick earlier today. He got me. He up and got me good too, let me tell you. I'm pretty sure I got most of them out of my head, but that's like the second one I picked out. It's a bad tick season this year up here. I wasn't even trying. I was just like rooting around in the bushes trying to clean up some shit, and not a big deal. Came back inside and I'm like, oh yeah, hanging out, and I just reached back there and I went like, what the heck is that? Yeah. It was a little unsettling, to say the least. Let's see. Okay, do we have any other questions? You know what? I'm going to take a drink of water. Just pardon me. Okay? Got it right down here, and no, it is not vodka. Not yet. Oh, yeah. Smooth. I like it. Only kidding. Only kidding. All right. Do we have any kind of questions here until before I go into this thing that I'm going to be doing? I'm not going to do it all in one night because it's long. It's a whole big thing. So I'm going to bust it up into tonight, tomorrow, which I think is Thursday. Right? Is tomorrow Thursday? Yes. Tomorrow's Thursday. And then I'm probably finishing up on Friday. So we'll do a few days of it. It's what we call in marketing an open loop. Now, if I was actually trying to pitch something or sell something, that's how you wind up using an open loop. That's not what this broadcast is about. This is about giving any kind of real value. We're having a good time hanging out, talking, answering some questions and stuff. I'm not trying to sell anything on here or anything like that. We're just having some fun. And if I can learn you guys something, if it's of interest, then cool. If you don't like what I'm teaching or explaining, let me know. Let me know what it is you'd like to talk about, or that you'd like to, if it's something that I can help you with, whatever it is. I mean, I know probably the majority of you guys are fans of TSO, which is great. You know, I'm always open to talking with people and to hanging out. And if I can answer any questions, related to the music business or any kind of business or marketing and advertising and such, which is what my other business things are, or drum school for that matter. I also run an online drum school, so I'm pretty adept at doing that kind of thing. If you have any questions about how that runs, or you know of anybody who has any questions about how any of this stuff runs, even what I'm doing here with this live streaming thing with Facebook. If you have any questions or you know anybody that might be interested in learning about this, okay, tell them to come on by. I'll gladly talk to them about it and try to explain how all this technology works. We'll give it a shot. If that's okay. Okay? All right. Let's see. I can't tell if there are any other questions right now. There probably are a bunch of questions, but I can't see them. Let me just check over here. Give me a second. Give to me a minute. Let me just check. Wrong mouse. Hello. Okay. Okay. Up there. When do you find that? Ohio. Dan Roth. The suitor. Okay. I am trying to see if I can get this to go. Come on. Come on back. Come on. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying. I am trying to. Yeah, I can't seem to get any of the other questions. All right. I'm really checking to see. Okay. I cannot. It's not letting me get any other questions. Man. What the heck? Oh, hang on. All right. Let me see. Jacqueline. Okay. Jacqueline, you are very welcome, and that's perfectly fine. I know you're a busy man, so I don't expect a message back. Just glad to see you smile again. Thank you. Thank you so much, dear. That means an awful lot. It really does. You know. Thank you for reaching out and saying hi and saying all the really nice things that you did. And I really do appreciate it. I definitely do. Thank you. Thank you again. And I know that there's a delay here. We've always gone through this same thing over and over again, the old delay that happens. But if you'd like me to do this little thing, I will gladly do it. Oh, video interrupted. I just saw that on the phone. Okay. You know what? I'm going to... Let's see if I can set this thing up here for the little presentation that I'm going to give. Okay? Let me just see if I can get this in place. Whoa, that's a bright screen. It's like, last call. What the heck is that? All right. So, we got everything here. See if there's any other questions. All right, cool. All right. Then what I'm going to do is just lay out this first thing about writing a book and get this whole thing started and see if I'm just checking down here to see if there's any kind of other questions that may pop up before I start this. I don't see anything, so what do you say we just give this a shot and see what happens? Let's transition on over. All right. How to write a book that will grow your opportunities. And it's very true. Writing a book will seriously change the way you are perceived by a lot of people, especially if you're writing one for your business or you're writing one for just a different career that you might be looking to get involved in, or if you even have a different idea for a business. This is a great way to really start to get that idea formulated and to write it down and put it onto paper. And the real reason, the number one reason why, a really, really great reason, is that it gives you instant celebrity authority. Without a doubt, it changes how people view you. I found that pretty much most musicians, when they wind up writing a book, it's either, a book or an instructional book on whatever instrument that they play, whether it's guitar, drums, keyboards, or whatever it is, or it's an autobiography. It's not really very centered on providing any kind of value as far as learning something new or learning a skill, other than, like I said, if it's a method book for music, that's something a little bit different. And over 3,000 years of history have made writing a book the highest symbol of authority. And if you do it the right way, if you do it correctly, it's going to set you far apart from everyone else that's doing the exact same thing that you were doing. Like I said, I was, if I just was to write like another drum book or do something like that, that's not going to separate me from anybody. I'm just going to be another guy with a drum book that's out there. And honestly, I think that, my adding another drum book to the amount of drum books that are out there is not going to make much of a difference. When I wrote The High-Paid Musician Myth, it was written to really educate people on the benefits of taking the entrepreneurial path, learning, taking that adventure. That's really what it was about. And it's going to establish you as the real authority, which it really has done for myself. Others have come, they've come to find that before contacting anybody else that doesn't have the status, it opened up so many more doors for me, and as it would do for you too. And whatever it is that you're looking to do, writing a book is, like I said, it is so cool, and it's fun, and it really is fun. It's a lot of fun doing it, and it's very, very, very rewarding on a number of different fronts. It gives you immediate credibility in whatever you're doing, in whatever the business is that you are involved in, or whatever you want to be involved in, whatever passion that you may have, whatever drive, whatever's the thing that gives you real joy. When you can write about it, and if it can help anybody else and give anybody else any value, you'll do really well. You can do really well with it. And these days people are more skeptical than ever before. And having more credibility means that your audience will be much more likely to trust and believe you for your authority. And it's a gigantic advantage. It really is. It's a great advantage, over any competition that there might be. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Reason 3 is it can provide more income for you. And that's true. It definitely can provide more income. Because your book is the ultimate sign of expertise. It can increase the income, within that first week that you started. Well, of course, that's, not, that's, after it's done and published. But, it can start to, here's the thing. This is what is very interesting. I found this out. It's that with Kindle, right, with the Amazon Kindle store, you can put your book up for pre-sale. All right? You can actually pre-sell your book, for like 99 cents, which is what my original ebook went for, the electronic version of The High-Paid Musician Myth. You can put it up there with just a cover, or maybe even one chapter. All right? And I've seen people actually become best-selling authors with just a cover and one chapter. It's amazing, but Amazon will let you do that. Not many people know that, but Amazon will let you do that. Reason 4, well, this is a good one. Access to the media. It definitely manages to give you some more exposure that you would never ever thought might have been possible. Whoa, hang on a second here. Who's that good-looking son of a bitch? Oh, don't you ever die. No, it's true, man. It can give you some really great exposure without you. I never even thought about it, but it did. It gave me some really, really cool, great exposure. The publicity alone will get you media sources that have much higher credibility, have more extensive reach, and is essentially free for you because of the book. It really is. And it's a well-known fact that a book author, as a program director and media producer's favorite kind of guest, that without a doubt, having someone who is a best-selling author is like their favorite kind of guest. It really is. It's a really probably one of the best things I've ever done. And reason 5 is, it allows you to sell without selling. And I know that a lot of people out there are really turned off at the idea of selling something. They get really like, that, it's like, you don't want to do it. You don't want to feel like you're getting all kinds of smarmy and shit, trying to sell somebody something. It allows you to, the book really does, the book manages to sell. It manages to sell without you ever really having to do anything. It's like the most low-key, credible salesperson that there is for services and products. Most independent professionals love this, since, again, so many of them, they hate selling books, because the book does all of the selling for you. It truly does. Like I said, I publish a magazine on the Apple newsstand, Maverick Musician Magazine, which makes me a publisher, and a book on Amazon KDP. All right, in that first year, they brought me like a nice little chunk of change that I wouldn't have ever otherwise earned. Did I become rich from it? Nope, I did not become rich, but it provided a nice, good kick. It really did, man. So I would advise anybody to immediately start to get the ideas together for their book, for your first one. Okay, so my plan for tomorrow is to show you how you can create a book that serves as the ideal sales machine for your brand, whatever it is, if you have another business or it's just yourself and you want to get into public speaking, which is where I'm going with this. So how does that sound? Do we have a deal here? What do you think? Let me know. So like tomorrow, I'll share the number one reason why most professional musicians and business owners, what they give for for not authoring their book, for not even bothering with it. It's amazing. Some of these people have the excuses that there are, and I'm going to reveal just how easy it can really be done. Okay, we'll talk more about that tomorrow, but it really is, like I said, it's a phenomenal way to get your creativity flowing, to get everything happening. Because once you start, I'm telling you, man, it's like it's at the risk of being foul-mouthed, it's fucking addictive. It really is, man. Once you start to get into it, once you start to realize that, when you see the written word, when you see it down there, and and people read it who you know, like, and trust, and whose opinion that you trust. And when they turn around and they say, yeah, you know what, this is good. This is really good. I like this. You did a really good job with that. It's a great feeling. And then when you finally see the whole package, you see like the whole thing. I mean, when I got this thing in the mail, I got all this book. Even though it's not big, it's like what? It's like less than 100 pages. It can be read in a day. Be read in a day or two. And the reason why, and this is the thing, when you see people who write, don't wait to write like some enormous, ginormo, frickin', book with like, 250, 300 pages. Nobody will get around to reading something like that. Very few people, and I can't say nobody, very few will actually sit down and read a book like that. I kept this thing as thin as it is, okay, which is basically about the same as a magazine, because it's geared towards musicians. Okay, I know my marketplace. I know my target marketplace. And most musicians will read a magazine. Yeah, no problem. They'll read a manual on how to fuck around with their next piece of gear. Okay, they'll do that. But if this was like 200 pages long, nobody. I don't think anybody would really bother reading it. And as it is, this can be done in a day. It can be done in 2 days, definitely. And that was the idea. Easy, fast, informative, got some funny stories in there, even got a couple of pictures in here. So yeah, keep it short. You don't have to write this gigantic book, so don't get frustrated or to think that you have to, and don't let that be a reason that would hold you back. There have been Amazon bestsellers in there that are half the size of this. It's the information that you put into it. It's the value that people get from it. That's really the main thing. Okay? So don't let the size of this book or size of any book hold you back. If it's an idea you have, if it's a passion that you have, and it's something that you feel you have to get out, or it can help somebody, just do it. You know, anybody. I mean, the playing field is level now, and that's what's making a lot of these big time publishers shit, because they don't know how to deal with that. You know, they're looking at the same thing that's happened to the record labels, the majors, where every artist is out there trying to, like, you know, get a foothold and get their own thing happening without having that major label infrastructure. Well, so it's hard. It's very, very hard, you know, to do it if you don't have the skill set to pull it off, or you don't know someone with the skill set, or you're not willing to pay somebody who has the skill set to help you get from point A to point B. You know, that's what I did. I didn't do all of this on my own. I have a team of people who helped me to do this. Could I have learned how to upload the book to Kindle platform? Sure, not a problem. I could have learned to do that. I could have learned to do all the research and all the stuff what it takes for a book to become a #1 international bestseller. Yeah, I could have done the whole routine and done all of that. It's not what my interest is. My interest is applying the time that I have to making money doing something else. My time is better off spent doing something like that that's going to create something else. And I'll leave it to somebody else who knows exactly what they're doing rather than me fumble around with it. That was part of the whole lure of, you know, the music industry with record labels. No one knew how to deal with, like, radio stations and record stores and stuff like that. That was, you know, you were an artist. You know, that's what you do. You just take care of that, you know. Yeah, there was an old term that was out there basically, which was, that's it. Managers get laid, artists get screwed. So, not that was kind of crude, but, you know, you'll forgive me, I'm sure. But yeah, this is something that anybody can learn how to do and do it effectively, and reap the most out of it, reap the most benefits out of it. I have, you know, it's helped me tremendously, and it's going to keep on helping me, because now I know what to do. Now I'm going to have my second book come out, which is, again, like I explained before, which is the whole entrepreneurial journey that I'm on. And then my third book is going to be completely different from that, where it's going to be a book of fiction. Something that I've always wanted to do. And again, it's one of those ideas that kind of popped into my head, and I thought about it and just quickly sketched it all out and everything. And I told it to Kathy, and she was like, "You have to write that. You've got to seriously write that." And I said, "Well, that's the third one down the line." She's like, "I don't care what it is, but you're going to write it." And I'm like, "Yes, yes, dear, I'll write it." And so that's what I'm outlining right now. So, yes, we'll talk more about the whole book thing tomorrow, but this is something that I think I want you guys to really consider and give some good thought to, you know, because it could be a life-changing thing for you. You know, I firmly believe that. And if I can help in any way, I definitely will. All right, I am going to... All right, what is happening here? I got... and extremely choppy. I don't know. Very choppy too. Every 5 or 6 words. That's really weird. I wonder why it's doing that. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, I don't understand what's changed. Your last episodes were so smooth. No, I didn't add anything. Nothing different. Okay. Okay. Major problems. Here, but I'm at the airport. Okay, hope that's very choppy, very choppy. I don't know why. I wonder what the deal is with that. Let me just check something. I didn't change any of my settings. I didn't change anything. Let me try. I haven't really changed anything, so I don't know. Well, I'll tell you. It appears that everything is working okay. I just checked a whole bunch of settings and it all looks good. So I don't know if it's Facebook or what it could possibly be. I'll check the recording completely when I'm done with it. But if you guys are having a hard time seeing me and it's hard to follow along, then well, no, I'll call it tonight. Let's call it a day then. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming out and really being here with me on my after taking the night off last night. So thank you again so very, very, very much. And we'll continue onward tomorrow also with getting started writing your book. And if you have any other kind of comments you want to leave or whatever, please do that right down inside there. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the Maverick Musician Digest, which is right above there. There's a link for it. It's free. And then there's also my my entrepreneur, public speaker, public figure kind of page. That's at facebook.com/John O'Reilly Live. Go over there and give me a like. That'd be fantastic. But like I always say, I always end off with this, just always remember to live to the extreme and love to the extreme. Because, you just don't know when it's going to be gone. And hold everybody close to your heart. Love everybody as best you can. And always, always act accordingly. That's all I got. Till tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace.